What's going on, guys? What would Vinny do? Podcast. Great guest tonight. I'm really excited. I got my boy Sal Amore in the house. Grew up in Throgs Neck. Worked at DEP. Got a part in the movie Dope Boys. Retired. Went all in. He's been involved in over 30 films since then. Behind the scenes, he was in a Martin Scorsese film where he played opposite Al Pacino, who happens to be one of my favorite actors. Started another film based on Martin Scorsese's life called Good Marty. He's been in Blue Bloods, and he's completed two scripts of his own, which are in pre-production. You got a lot going on, my friend, and thank you for being here, brother.
Thanks, Vinny.
Anytime.
Pleasure.
Yes. So my show's about guys like yourself going all in and hustling and trying to make their dream come true and their passion. So that's why you're here, and thank you for coming. And let's start out with growing up in the Bronx and how that was for you. I loved it. You tell your story.
I loved growing up in the Bronx. This neighborhood's close knit. You know, from my era, which was the early 80s and into the 90s, to this day, it's really a close-knit neighborhood still. There's so many people still living here. But growing up in the Bronx is, I became the person I am because of this neighborhood. Like, I went to St. Benedict's. That was a great experience from first grade to 8th grade. All the people that we met there, how we became friends, and how we're still friends. Hundreds and hundreds still friends to this day.
Yeah, and we ran in similar circles. Sal was a little older than me, but we still have a lot of the same friends.
Yeah,
the same group of friends.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it's not the same now for our kids, right?
No, it's not the same for our kids.
Right?
No, not close, because you were allowed to hang out on all corners. Yeah. It was a different era. The crime wasn't as bad as nowadays, and it was old school neighborhood with Italians and Irish and Polish, Germans, and we were mixed in there, right? It wasn't just one ethnic group, but it was. Yeah, it was a great neighborhood to grow up in, man. I wouldn't change it.
Right?
Anything. I would never change it.
I almost feel like, for me, my children are almost too sheltered. Like, they don't experience what we, and you want them to be, but I feel almost nervous because when something happens, you don't know if they're going to be able to. You understand what I mean? Like what we went through.
I have two boys.
Right.
They're 23 and 21. Well, you know what's funny with me? My kids, all their friends, I grew up with every single one of their parents. There's not one kid that we don't know their parents.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So they kind of had sort of growing up in this neighborhood as I did, but not as great. And a little different, but in the reality,
you're older. My kids are younger. It's totally gone now. You know what I mean?
They have a crew of friends that they still live around the block from each other, and they're close knit. Yeah. And it goes from 5 to 20, and they have so many friends, but it's kind of the same, but it's really not the same.
Right.
We
had the best time. Yeah.
We could walk anywhere we want. Night, and we knew everybody on every block, on every corner.
I remember that. Not even going home.
No, not going home. Sleeping in PS14 and waking up and going to play softball. Exactly. Yeah, we used to bring our lounge chairs there, fall asleep.
So you start working at a young age. I know for me, growing up in Italian, that was a big thing with my father. I don't know if you did it on your own or how did that start for you?
I don't know. I think I started delivering newspapers at 12 or 13.
Yeah, you get a paper route.
And then I went, the Big G, I think it was on Tremont, and I worked at the deli or stocking shelves.
But I mean, you got these jobs on your own, or was it kind of like
my parents were like, "Oh, go get a job, whatever." You want to make money? And
it's
it was something you did, and that's what your parents told you to do. And you went and got your working papers. I'm going to go into the office.
I remember that.
That's so all the way down there.
To get the paper out, you needed the working papers.
You needed working papers, and then you felt like a big shot. And I went and applied here and there, whatever, neighborhood jobs, and a million in Loperinos delivered for them, and whatever. And then I got into the catering business, like the Marina Del Rey. But I think my first one was the one near Shaw Road. I forget the name of it. It's still there. Glen Allen. But I kept it. I kept that as a side job all my life because it was always quick money and it was really good money.
Nice. So the act, as far as the acting thing, was that in you from a young age, or
No.
I know you have in your bio that you got cast in Doughboys later in life, and that was the moment. Was there any thoughts of it young or not really?
I don't think so. I try to remember back, and I can't remember me thinking that. I modeled for like a year. That was quick and everything, because at that point I was 18, 19, and I thought who I was on the streets. And I was like, modeling, whatever. I can make money faster. So I stopped that. Yeah, but from this day, I always try to think back. Did I ever want to? But no, I love TV. I love movies. I'm a big fan of it. And no, but I never thought of it as a kid. Definitely.
So how does that moment come to be? Let's talk about that. The Doughboys.
Yeah, the Doughboys.
Yeah.
That comes to be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all my life I worked with the DEP and all these.
But that was your first.
That was my first defining moment that I said, wow.
Okay. All right.
Like I just.
So, all right. So I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Fine. So you got the job at DEP first. So you said you got to get the real job. That's what you consider the DEP. You get the benefits and everything, like a career job, of course. That's what I said. All of us. Yeah. We're all taught that. You got to take the sanitation, any job that has the benefits. Right?
Yeah, that was all.
So you get the DEP, and now. So Doughboys happens while you have the DEP job?
Yeah, like 20 years into it. I think I did DEP 15 years, say.
Are you married with children?
I'm married, yeah. My kids are Matthew went for an audition for the Doughboys. He was like 10. Sal was 12.
Okay, so let's start. You're 20 years on DEP, and now you find out about this movie. So almost 20. You find out about Doughboys, a movie, and now you're bringing your son to be. Is that what happens? So tell that story.
So we find out about Louis Lombardi's coming back to the Bronx. He grew up in
a friend of ours.
Growing up in the huge in Hollywood, all over TV, Sopranos, everything.
Right.
And
so he's 24. I just started watching 24. I'm in the first season. Does he come on later? Later in the show?
Third or fourth.
Okay, I remember him being on there. I didn't get to that. I love the show. I never saw it. I just started watching.
Yeah. So I don't know where we see it, but there's an audition for kids, Italian kids. So my wife.
Was this something your kid was pursuing, or this was just a random thing?
He's a character. Man, you're a character. You want to do it? The poor kid wanted to do it. At the beginning of the week, when the day came, he was sick. I swear to God, he was sick. Anyways, my wife forced him to go. They go. I didn't even go with them. They went, and she came back, and they were going to call about him, but she was like, "Hey, Sal, they're looking for a guy like you. They got it up. They described the part they were looking for. Why didn't you go?"
Were you like standing on a line? What was your son, or just his audition?
He auditioned.
You're reading. He's got to say the script. You have a certain thing.
Yeah, Matthew had to audition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't with him.
I wasn't with him. I was home. My wife and him went on their own. I don't know why they didn't go. And she comes back and is like, no, they're going to ask me. He was having a hard time with his dialogue. He's not feeling good. I was like, all right, whatever it is, it is. It's only a movie. So then she goes, but they got something for you. You fit this description. Why don't you go? So I looked and I was like, you know what? I'll go. And I got dressed and I went. And I walked in. And they were like, I said, I'd like to audition for this part. The guys were from the neighborhood, Harrington Talent.
It was independent.
Yeah, with Louis Lombardi. He wrote it. And they gave me a part. I got a phone call like 3 days later, and I was so excited, like, wow, I'm in a movie, And they tell me come to set this day, that I had to ad lib my part. I was playing a customer in a bakery, and Louis Lombardi was the owner, and he was behind the counter, and I had to make an order. So when I got to set that day, the producer said, "So what's been going on in your life? What's funny? I need you to come up with some dialogue of what's
improvise.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? I just bought a new house, and chocolate brown couches. So he goes, stop it right there. You're a customer that goes into the bakery and you're crazy about chocolate. You got 90 minutes to come up with something. I need you to come up with something. So this is my first time. I didn't even know what.
Yeah, you're even worried. Yeah, you're worried about doing regular lines. They want you to make up your own line.
Yeah, and I was like, "What's improv?" And it's the guy. He was laughing. He was great. The producer.
Right.
And 90 minutes later, he comes back, and I put this whole skit together. And he goes, "What do you got?" So I start doing it. I start laughing. He was like, "Listen, come on. You got to get this out. You can't laugh. I'm going to pass you up." So I started again. He goes, "Sal, come on, stop laughing, because I'm really going to move to the next person." So I gave him my skit, and he cried. He was hysterical laughing. Cool. He goes, "You're ready." Brings me to set. Go. puts me on a mark and goes, all right, go ahead, go for it.
What are you in a bakery on Tremont?
In a bakery, no, not La Dolce, on Mars Park.
Okay, all right. Yeah, don't matter.
All the way down.
In the neighborhood, right? Okay, good.
Yeah, right on Mars Park. Right. I wish I could remember the name of it. And they had the camera on me. They go, you know what you're doing? Yep. Looking this way, but action. And I went boom, and I went from beginning to end without a blip. They called cut, and they're like print. And I looked, I was like, oh, I'm only gonna do it once. Yeah, you killed it. They go, you killed it, you nailed it. And I got this rush doing it. I got this rush doing it.
So literally one take.
One take. My first time.
So a half hour. Like it was just
10 minutes.
And it was just you and Louis in the scene?
Yeah, he was standing.
Did he have words or you just?
No, I was doing my thing, and then we're gonna cut it in. Filmmaking is nothing like you see on TV.
Right.
Man, I could be doing my dialogue right here. They have the camera on me, and you're doing dialogue with me. But you could go relax for 15 minutes while I just do my dialogue on close-ups, like
Right.
And then they just mix it in.
That's what I was going to ask you. What is it? People think it's glamorous. Is it what you thought it was going to be? Like,
oh yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it as an actor. I was an actor I acted for a good year and a half before I ever worked behind the scenes. So Doughboys, I got a rush. Started looking for agents, going to casting directors, going down to classes, and all this stuff.
So that's what my next question was going to be.
Yeah.
What does the hustle look like for someone? Like, I know my real estate, I got to call clients, I got to try to do business. What do you do? Auditioning, trying to get people
to break into it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Break into it.
So it's constant audition.
Constant auditions, constant meeting agents.
Manager, agent, you got to pay somebody?
Agents.
Is that the key to the business?
Let me tell you, but you really got to dig deep for really good agents and casting directors.
But is that an important part of the
Yeah, that's important. You want it.
Without it, you can't make it?
No, you could make it because you also become a filmmaker like I did. So now, see, that's where my story changes a little. Because I went in all in acting and going to hustle on the streets, going for audition. I auditioned for HBO with Marky Wahlberg, and they were going to fly me to Los Angeles and stay a month and film this new pilot for HBO.
Entourage?
No. I don't even remember the name.
Okay.
You know what?
Right.
It never took off. I went to rehearsals in Manhattan.
I got you.
And then they just squashed it.
So that's the important part of it too. You might end up hitting someone, and then the show fails, and then you're fucked too, right? And you're screwed too, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
But it's a hustle. It's a hustle, and you meet shady people on the way up, on the way down. You meet on the way up, and when they know you are beginning. Yeah, one agent asked me for $800 down. An agent was like, okay, I'm going to charge you $800, and then you're going to go for your headshots. That's another $400. I was like, but so $1,200. Aren't you supposed to be making me money first, and then that's how you get paid? So and then listen, this agent $400, $500 in headshots. So I just happened to walk out of his office, and I'm walking down the street, and I see a sign, headshots. I walk in. That guy used this same lady, and she gave me the real price. It was like $150 for your headshots. Meanwhile, he's charging extra. So an agent like that's supposed to be your guy. Right off the bat was shady. That happened many times, and you just got to learn to walk away from people like that.
Right.
And the hustle is real, but it's a lot of hours.
All right. So you do like you just said. The minute after that, it went great. You got the rush. You went all in.
Yeah.
What about your job and your family? That was at the time you were at the DP, right?
Yeah.
So what
I was like, gee.
It's something you can't go all in and keep the job.
Because that's what happened. It was something like I couldn't go all in
with the job
because you just had no time.
Right. It was a 40-hour job, right? You had to get
morning,
right.
You're
working on your shot,
Yeah, and so I sat with my wife, and her jaw dropped when I said, "Please, I swear, I know I belong here, G."
Was it an early retirement type of thing, or you just cut everything and didn't get anything?
No, I got
like a package.
Yeah, I got my pension.
It's still a ballsy move, right? You got children.
Yeah, because I'm losing my paycheck every week. Right. I got my pension and everything, but I lost a paycheck twice a month. But I was in the catering business still. At that point, 20 years, and it was I was making money hand over
So that's what you were figuring. I'm going to do this and do the catering.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go all over this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
So what is all?
And I just bought a house. At that point.
So let's go. This is interesting. So go again. You sit down. You just say, "Well, I got to talk to you." Like you just thought about it. It was right after Doughboys. Did you go home?
Yeah. Well, it was after Doughboys, and I said, "I'm going to go on some auditions when I can. Maybe take a couple of days off here and there." But which I did, and then it just wasn't working. And I really wanted to go all in. And at this same time, I got a phone call from someone that was writing a movie and saw me in the Doughboys. He was actually watching it. He goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe Sal Amore's an actor." So he turns to his brother and says, "Can we get in touch with him?" They find my number. I haven't talked to these people in 20 years.
Somebody you knew?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna mention.
Right. No problem.
And he asked me if I wanted to be in his movie. So I was like, yeah. He sent me the script, and I started doing that work with him. And I worked on this movie for like a year as an actor. And that's when I really was like, now I really got to go all in. And that's when I left my job.
Okay.
When I started my second film.
But how do you improve? Do you take classes? Like what?
Yeah, I went to some classes, which are expensive, and now that's down to hit. So everything's expensive. Any business you in, if you have to
improve
commit.
Your craft.
You have to improve your craft. It costs money, right? So losing a paycheck, 2 paychecks a month from leaving my job to catering, to having 2 kids, to a new house, a dog, and everything. These classes were expensive. So I did a couple of acting classes, and then I Googled a lot. I really did. And it's really good. It really helped a lot. I read a lot of books. I went to Barnes and Nobles and got acting books. And for some reason, it actually came natural to me. Seriously, even when I was making my second movie, I was on film, and I watched the film back, and I pop off screen. I just had this natural acting ability about me. So learning how to act. The camera didn't scare you at all? No, learning how to act. I went to a couple classes, but not many, and I just did it on my own, and I improved myself on my own a lot, especially going from one movie to another. Now my life picked up making movies. I started working for this company, and they're an independent company. And I made one film with them, and we went into pre-production with another film as soon as that first film was. And they were looking for a UPM, unit production manager. And I was like, "What's that?" And the guy explained it to me. So I said, "All right, let me go. I'll go take a class for that," which I did, one class. No, that's something expensive, but I did what I could afford. And then I actually read books and Googled the rest about what a UPM does. And you know what really made me what I am? Hands-on. It just everything
being around,
and everything came natural.
Even though you weren't acting, you're seeing the whole process. And everything, right?
Yeah, and that came natural too for some reason.
But the audition.
Thank God I didn't really need a lot of classes and a lot of someone explaining every detail about every job or how to act or how to be a UPM.
I got you.
For some reason, it just came to me, and I went with it. And
so it makes sense. Because I read a lot of books about sales, but like you said, the way you learn is actually going hands-on. Go to a person and you go through it.
You remember when you did wrong, and then you don't do it again.
That's it. You fail forward.
You fail forward.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's cheaper than going to classes. Because those classes are $1,200 for 3 classes for 3 weeks, and I'm like, I can't afford it.
Right.
And the whole thing is, if I was a single guy with no family, I would have been able to afford it. But you have a family, mortgage and everything. And that's another thing. I was the happiest in my life doing it in the beginning, and I was the saddest in my life at the same time.
Why?
Because money and how I was struggling in my personal life. And then when I would get on set, I would forget all that. I would forget everything bad going on and do what I had to do there. And I would put 16 hours a day for a year straight in this one film. And go home, and then boom, it would hit. But it wasn't bad between my wives. We made it work. We didn't argue like cats and dogs. It didn't make us hate each other. She understood, and this is what we chose, and we were sticking, and she was sticking with me, and my kids stuck with me too, man.
That's great.
There was times that I'm on set, loving what I'm doing, and one story is like people turn on you and they look down on you when they see a 40-year-old man with a family leaving his job.
They don't look at it like you're going after the dream. Yeah, exactly.
And say, look what he's doing. He thinks who he is, and it's for himself. What about his kids? But you know what? I talked to my family about this. But even family, I talked to my wife and my kids about this, and they agreed. And hey, we struggled, but we made it work, and it didn't. My kids had a great bringing up. They never. They got anything they needed, anything they wanted. I wasn't broke, but I used all my money and had, oh my God.
Look how you're talking about what your wife did for you. That's important stuff.
Forget about it, man. Yeah.
But think about, would it be better you're at a job you don't like and you have money and you're miserable? That's not the answer, right? And most people, that is their answer, right?
It is the answer.
And they think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah. The same old grind when they're really not happy.
Because they're scared to go after their dream.
They're scared, but they're happy they're raising their family. Maybe that's where they belong in life, raising their family and keen on them.
Right.
But I feel I could raise my family and make great films, become a great actor or a good actor. Or see, like I went from being acting to loving the behind the scenes work. But I stood doing both all these years. And I could always fall back on making films, and which I am in the process of making my own right now. No, I love acting. Sometimes it's fun for you. Like when you're on set and you're in front of the camera, it's the best.
It's a rush, a high.
It's the best high I ever got. I know there's a lot of highs. But it was the best high rush I ever got. But making films became my passion, and I think I can have a better living making my own films and making my own destiny then. And I'm still going to go for auditions and do these little parts like I did on Blue Bloods, and I was on New Amsterdam. I went for an audition for that, but I didn't get a part, but they offered me 3 days work as an extra feature on the set, and I made so many connections 3 days on the set. That was a great experience. And
but what do the auditions look like? You're going in a room, there's 2 people sitting there and you're reading. They tell you, is that what that's how I picture it?
Yeah, they send you sides and then you go in prepared and you read with somebody and they film.
And they say thank you and you walk out, and then if they like you, they call you back.
They talk back. Some people some producers are nice.
Have you ever auditioned for someone like big, like a big actor or a big director, or not really? Like in front of them, not really?
Not in front of them, no. But like Mark Wahlberg with the show, which I don't even remember the name. I don't even think they had a title name working. But that was going to be one of my biggest moments. But that was like 7-8 years ago or whatever.
Right.
But no, like auditioning for big directors or anything. No.
Okay.
No, but you know.
Who are some of the directors you admire and you like the Red Ones, like those guys? Like
yes. Well, Scorsese. I did a movie about Scorsese, and that's funny because you learned about how he became a filmmaker for like mobster movies, and he made the best mobster movies ever.
Of course.
And he didn't make. He respected them. And his movies show because they don't look like it. Like some people, like mobsters are over the top, you know, and people think different of them. In our neighborhood, people look up to mobsters, you know. So, but yeah, Scorsese is great, and Quentin Tarantino is out of his mind, but he did the same. But listen, Stallone's got to be the best story ever.
Because I was gonna bring it up because he wrote the movie. It's so funny. I had that one of my questions. Yeah. Is that that's the dream for you, right? To write it and be in it. Exactly what he did. Right? And now he held out for the money when he got offered.
That's what I'm doing now.
That's perfect.
People are telling me, you need to do this, this, and this, and maybe, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it this way, and I'm gonna stick to my guns. How I want to do it. And I've been writing for 4 years this film, and it's from 4 years ago. And I picked it up like a year and a half. I put it down for a while, and then I picked it up. I knew so much more that I went into it, and I just X'd out all kinds of scenes.
Is there a method to writing too that you studied that as well? Like you practice that stuff?
No, I never went to a class or anything.
Really?
I think through the years from reading all the scripts.
I got you. So, like you said, experience.
And becoming UPM, and then I was a line producer, which you deal with all the scripts and deal with the schedule, and then you break down the script for locations, actors, props, everything. So I used to go into the whole script. The writer would give me the script, and I would break it down in every which way, and I would learn everything on you. I could tell you your line without looking at the page because that's how much I studied these scripts. And I don't know, when I started writing years ago. Don't get me wrong, 7 years ago I wrote, and I have it still, and I said, what was I thinking about?
Right.
It was horrible.
Right.
Not the format, just the wording and where I was going with the story, but by experience and looking at
fiction stuff you're making up or stuff.
Yeah, I was making it up.
Oh, okay, fiction stuff. Okay.
But this movie I'm writing now is a good. I worked hard on it, and I think I started writing it 4 years ago. Wrote it for a year, put it down. Wanted to get more experience and behind the scenes as an actor, grow as a filmmaker, and then I picked it up. I left the company. I worked for a company for 7 years, an independent company, and ran all their sets and produced all their movies. And a friend of mine came to me and said, "Sal, I know you're comfortable here, but you have to make your own destination. They're not going to do it for you. They're holding you back." This is what my friend, one of my best friends, I have two best friends in this world.
Right.
One of them, and that's what he told me, and I didn't believe him when he told me. And then certain things happened like within that year, and it made me look, and I was like, you know what, I gotta go. I opened up my own company. 13 Love Productions and Sallywood Films. I call it.
Nice.
They nicknamed me Sallywood a long time ago.
But it's good. Listen, it's good. You know how we were talking before we started taping, about people who kind of hold you back, and the opposite. At least you had that friend who gave you good advice. Exactly. Those one person like that is better than, you know what I mean? You need that in your life.
Yeah.
It's rare, right?
Yeah. It is rare.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be told the truth.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy. Right. It's not going to hurt me, man. But I'm going to use that to
motivation.
See, like, things happen for a reason, and those negative things, you turn them into positive things, and you just keep on going forward, and you never look back. Like I said, I went through hardship becoming an actor, becoming a filmmaker, having a house, to the same week my car getting repoed, my house having to sell it because I couldn't swing the payments no more, and I was going through my savings, my life savings, and I figured a house is just an object. Your relationship between your family, wherever you are, could be strong because of what you believe in each other and your heart. Material things, to me, I'm not a material person. I'll give my kids anything they want before me to begin with. Right. I don't look for things. I'm not a fancy person and stuff. But, that happened to me. I remember my kids were crying. The car was getting taken away. And then I had to turn to them and tell them we're going to sell the house too and move into an apartment. And people, it was rough. I was making films happy. And like I said, those were the happiest times of my life and the saddest times all in one. Right. I would find myself happy on set and then coming home and sitting in the dark sometimes, and sometimes just thinking and crying like I was so sad. And then listen, it happens into this entertainment business. You see it happen to big stars. They get into these depressions. And I experienced.
You think that's a lot of the suicide stuff, but like that? You think that's?
I never wanted to commit. No,
I'm talking about like Robin Williams, the big star you're talking about. You think that could be one?
They have everything, but there's something missing in their life. I don't know. Robin Williams probably struggled. Every actor, I don't care who you are, you struggled in the beginning of your career. There's those overnight people that happen like that, but there's those people that 10, 20 years and then they made it in life.
So is that how acting works? So I know a few people in boxing, right? And I remember a pro fighter. I used to know him. He was living from check to check. He was 12-0. He had no money. Is it until you get that big part with acting? Is that when you make it that big part? Or that big movie?
Yeah, with me, it wasn't exactly big parts in every movie. It was my residuals coming in after 5 years. Nice. And there was a lot of films out there that I got residuals for and stuff. Nice. So that was one thing I knew in my beginning of my career. I'm signing a contract. I want residuals for the rest of my life on this, and that's what helped me a lot after 5 years, but. After 5 years.
For our people listening, residuals means every time they played it, you're getting
whenever it makes money and every quarterly you get something checked. Yeah,
and that automatically happens, or how do you know when that takes place?
Yeah, they send you statements and everything. And
that happens with people in commercials. I hear people make a lot of money from commercials, right? For that reason, because they play so much, right?
Get a commercial, right? I'm trying.
Do in the acting business, when I see in 24, it's the Allstate guy that is the president, right? Do people frown on dudes when they if you're an actor, like if you're a big actor and you take a commercial and people, I remember people used to think it was like a bad, right? Now it's not no more, right?
No, because you know what? They're the face of that company and they're making a lot of money.
Right.
And that's what it's about. You know, you're in your prime, some actors, and they get on 24 saying, and that guy, yeah, he was the president, right?
Right, yeah,
and he was
I like that guy.
And around that same time, he was hot. Yeah. It was hot around that same time. Like he was in a lot of things. But that window's very small. It don't last forever. Some people it does last forever. Some people don't. So when you can become a face of a commercial, Allstate,
right,
biggest insurance company, whatever, and pull in a lot of money, might as well do it. You know, I hope Allstate calls me. No, but people do from that big. Right. Do what you got to do to survive.
Right.
But I guess in Hollywood, who knows? They probably do frown because there's a lot of stuck-up people out there in Hollywood. Nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? They live in a fantasy. When they really make it big, it's a fantasy world for them. You know?
Of course.
Right?
Yeah. But has social media, has the internet made it easier for you to try to break through?
Yeah, because there's that streaming. So now you don't have to.
You don't need independent, right?
You don't need a movie.
Maybe you just have to go to California. You don't have to do that anymore.
You don't have to. Film festivals are great to go in and stuff like that, and you get exposure. You can win some money and stuff, but you don't need to get your film on the big screen anymore. Even the big movie companies, they don't put their films on screen no more. Like The Irishman, it's a Netflix film. Right, it's $150 million. The film was Scorsese with all the biggest actors ever that played gangsters, right? And they didn't want to put it in the theater; they wanted to go right to Netflix. But De Niro was fighting for it because he said, out of respect, it should go to a theater. And I agree with that. But nowadays, when will we stay in a week, 2 the most? Like, we were going to go see Creed 2. It's out of the movie theaters already, I think, or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Because you got streaming services, which you could go right on your phone. You can watch the movie. You have Amazon Prime on your phone. Like, you have the biggest streaming services and everything. And that's the way of these kids today.
Right.
And old people, older generation like us, are getting used to that.
Right.
I don't go to movies no more.
Right.
Why do I want to leave my couch?
Right.
And it's cheaper at home.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
So, and that opened the whole world to the independent world.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, and that's my objective. My film, I wrote, they were really good scripts, and I have to put those words to
Dude, I have a show. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I love this show on Netflix, Ozark, bro.
Oh, that's a great show.
Yeah, right.
I binge watched it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the next season to come out. Jason Bateman's
awesome, bro.
See, you learn from Jason Bateman.
Dude, I use some of his tactics in business. So I'm like, I gotta hang like Marty Bird. I gotta handle this. See how he turns his enemies to his friends?
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta play. You gotta play to their fucking power. Oh,
right.
You gotta play to their power trips. Like some people have power trips.
The girl robbed $3 million from him. She ended up being his right arm.
Yeah.
Right. And I love that girl. And all the characters are amazing.
Oh, the best show. Right. I love that show.
Right.
A fast paced area. But see, like you learn, and he's a director. He directs it. And see, my studying, and I've been doing it all these years. I told you I Googled a lot, but I also watched movie and TV show after TV show, and I would rewind and see and
I love his style.
And learn about angles and this and that.
That's important.
And then I would study an actor and say, and I would have to, I'm a Bronx guy. I talk like a Bronx guy in every movie. They don't want to hear that, even if it's a gangster movie. And I played a Jewish lawyer in one movie, right? And we made a movie about Bill Cosby. It's called Bill Huxtable, serial rapist. And I played this Jewish lawyer. I grayed my hair out. I put glasses on, and I had to get a whiny voice, and so I studied this real lawyer that's on Rubenstein or something. I forget his name, so he comes up on a commercial, and I go, that's how I have to portray. So I Googled his name, and all I did was listen to his voice over and over.
But people say that right with mafia dudes, they follow the guy around.
They follow the guy around.
To kind of fit like
Sopranos was the best because they had on
the set, of course.
So I interpret all that, and then I incorporate all that into my life about how to become a better actor, how to become a better filmmaker, director, producer, writer. I just, I use all that instead of paying for a lot of schooling, which I couldn't afford. Now I don't need it.
Right.
I might touch up on some stuff nowadays, but in the beginning.
Dude, you know what I thought was interesting? I heard Scarface was a flop at the movies. It
was.
made its money on video. That's when it became big. Is that crazy? I never knew that.
And I think Pope of Greenwich Village is the same thing,
right?
Yeah.
They become.
And those are the independent movies.
And they're classics, right?
Yeah, and all those guys were really not that big to begin with, anyways. And those movies made them. And when they become classics, they even make them bigger. So. My world went from acting and doing auditions strictly to making films for the last 9 years, producing over 30 of them, and now my own journey. And it's scary. Let me tell you, I'm excited and scared at the same time to write my film.
When things are nervous, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Right? You got that feeling.
Yeah,
the butterflies, they're good butterflies. So what would you say has been the tough? I know you talked about a lot of hard times, but what's been the toughest part, and what's been the most satisfying part? What's been the best part? Like, is it landing a certain thing so far? I know it's going to get better.
Okay.
Is that,
I understand what you're saying. Okay. Well, the hardest part was
the strain on the family and all that.
The strain on the family. Like I said, getting rid of my house and stuff like that, and yeah, that was deep and hard, and it still bothers me to this day. But I'm good now. We're good. It took a while, like 5 years, but yeah. And it was hard being happy going to do a movie. Because I had so much
going on.
Yeah, that was hard. Being happy to say and being comfortable. Because after a while, like in the beginning, all in, all excited, juices are flowing, not worrying about that hardship. And then when it did hit home hard, still have to pursue. I wasn't giving up. I wasn't making anything stop me. And I still had to go to these places and smile while in the back of my mind I was so sad. There was a scene. Listen to this now. Talking about people not believing in me. Friends, it don't matter. I don't care. You could talk about me. It don't matter who it was. Family member and her not believing in me and never asking me for 4 years. 4 years about the films I was doing and everything. Never asked once. Always made it seem like my family was in dire straits, and I used to say, I'm fine. Worry about somebody else. Don't worry. I know you want to worry, but we're fine. We're doing it. And listen, I'm doing a movie, a film that I had to sing Happy Birthday. And I had to do a scene with a lady portraying my mother, and I had to do the scene. And it was her birthday, and I coming in with a cake to sing Happy Birthday. So they call action, and I had to be happy there, singing Happy Birthday to my mother. And I started the dialogue and everything, and then I just started getting choked up. And I was like, all right, cut for a second. And I walked back, and they're like, you're like, yeah, I'm cool. And nobody knows what's going on, and action, and I go to do it again, and nothing comes out of my mouth. Nothing came out, and I was like, wait, can I get, and I'm walking off set, I was like, and I start getting choked up, and I'm about to cry. So I was like, can I get a couple of minutes? I gotta go. And I walked out, I went into the dressing room. And my friend knocked on the door, and I was crying. He was like, what's wrong, man? And I told him the story about, it is what it is. I'm just my life's an open book, and I'm gonna write a book eventually. So it was about my mother not believing in me. Never asked me for 4 years what I've been doing, or she's proud of me. And I know she was scared for me,
right?
But still, you gotta ask your son,
right?
And never,
right?
And I was crying, and my friend talked to me, my friend Kenny, and I sucked it up, and I was like, all right, give me a couple of minutes. And that negative energy, that was the first time I ever used negative energy in my whole body and turned it into positive. And I went back out on set, and I nailed it. I freaking nailed it. And because I turned that,
right.
And that was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to do. On set.
Well, a lot of times.
You asked another question too.
But I just want to elaborate on what you said, and I know that had to be hard. And a lot of times it's people who are close to you, and it's not even intentional. It's their own fears. It's their own fears.
Yeah,
I told you the Jay-Z thing, right? Jay-Z talks about his uncle told him he'd never sell 10 million copies.
Yeah.
He's like, I did it twice.
Yeah,
it's his fear because he can't. They think because they can never accomplish something. That doesn't mean you can't accomplish it.
And here's
So I mean, it's still hard with your mom, and I get it. And it's hard with anybody close to you, right? You want your boys to believe in you,
absolutely.
right? Right? Yeah. But you have to use it and you did, and that was.
But I never looked back still. I didn't let that stop me. And you know what's funny? The premiere at the movie, at this premiere, we had a premiere for this movie, and the lady that played my mother was Cindy Guire. She was on a million magazines and book covers with Fabio. She was the blonde, and she's an actress and stuff. She played my mother. So at the premiere, at the end of the movie, she was like, "My sonny boy." This is what Cindy says to her. My mother was in the audience, and my mother stood up and went, "No, like he's my sonny boy." And that was the first time she ever acknowledged and she told me she was proud and she apologized. She said she was sorry, but she was scared. She explained it, which I knew what the problem was. And, you know, things like that. It's rough, man. Doing something you love and being sad at the same time. You're happy and sad at the same time.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's so emotional,
That's
man.
the meaning of bittersweet, right? It's it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, as long as your wife and kids were good through the whole thing, and now you're on the. So, my question was, I think was now what was that? Was it your most was that your toughest moment? And now we're going to talk about your most satisfying.
Yeah, my most satisfying moment. So
maybe it would have been her acknowledging it, right?
That was good. that was cool.
Right? So that was
as
both
an
of them.
actor,
Right.
I made so many movies and some are coming out, and I know I'm going to be so proud of them. And those could be coming out. The movies coming out, those could be one of my most satisfying.
But so far, I'm sure you're going to have better stuff going on.
So far, no, definitely. So far, I accomplished a lot of movies, produced and stuff like that. But this is a funny story. So I get casted in The Irishman, and they called me and said, "You got to be on set at 5 o'clock in the morning in Yonkers, whatever. It's fine, whatever." And that morning, I got up at 3 o'clock. I don't know what it was. I couldn't find something. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! There was a lot of pressure there, and I was like, I swear, it came out of my mouth. I don't know if this is all worth it. I'm saying, right, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, a moment. You know, I say that about real estate.
Yeah, and then I get in the car and I went. So I get to the set and they're like, "Hey," so I checked in. And they were like, "All right, come to this room, follow me." I go to this private room, and guess who's sitting there? Al Pacino. So they make us watch this documentary. He's playing Jimmy Hoffa in 1958, and I'm playing a constituent. And we watched this whole documentary that was filmed in 1958 about Hoffa. And we reenacted that same scene. So I'm sitting in the room with Pacino. You don't say words. It's early in the morning. I'm groggy. So we watch it, whatever. And then he gets up. We watch it once or twice, whatever. And they ask him if he's good. And they asked me if I was good. I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And they gave me a little dialogue in my head and everything. And my dialogue wasn't big, but we just watched the whole scene, whatever. And he got up and left. And then hours later, they put me on a mark in the middle. And once I saw the mark, in the middle of this. It was supposed to be a trucking yard, and they put me on my mark, and then they go, "Mr. Pacino's going to be there." And so I did dialogue with Pacino in that movie, and I worked with him. This was the Irishman? The Irishman. Nice. Yeah, I worked with him for like an hour and a half.
Very cool.
And he was telling stories, and then he asked me, "What's your name, young man?" So I was like, "Sal Amore." Nice Italian name. "Where are you from?" I was like, "Throgs Neck in the Bronx." "Oh, I love Throgs Neck," and he was going on.
In The Godfather, was that supposed to be? It wasn't really. When he goes against the gun, they say. I always heard it was.
You know what that is? That's a white plate. I googled it.
Yeah, because I always made it like it was on stream. It's not.
That was White Plate Drone at 233rd Street. I actually googled
That's funny.
But acting opposite Al Pacino was definitely one of my most exciting moments ever. On set, that's for sure.
That's amazing.
That was an exciting moment. Yes. Oh my God, he was shadowboxing me during takes. Nice. It was cold, and I didn't know. And he was doing all these moves, and I was like, "Mr. Pacino, you used to box when you were younger?" And he was like, "No, but I love to box." And he puts his hands up. This is true, and he punches me in my stomach 3 times. So I put my hands up. I start slap boxing him. That's what I'm doing on set with Pacino. That's great. And by the end of the day, it was Al, and he gave me a lot of great advice. Told me I'm great. My acting ability is really natural.
Nice.
And he hooked me up with a casting director and an agent.
That's awesome.
Like, he didn't tell me. At the end of the day, they grabbed me like this, and Mr. Pacino really liked you, and he wants to take care of you and want to hook you up with this person and this person. So I went for a couple of meetings already, and they got me on Blue Bloods and a couple other auditions. That's awesome. So we'll see, but really my passion now is getting my 2 scripts. The short, which is short of my full feature. And to accomplish and I'm gonna accomplish it. To accomplish 2 films, and I want to try.
Well, accomplish means what? Put them out.
Yeah.
It's not like back in the day. You don't need money behind you, right? Or do you need money behind you?
Well, it
So when you
depends.
say accomplish, how do you accomplish?
Well, oh no. Well, it depends. You definitely need
backup.
funding.
You need somebody like the way Rocky went around with the script. You need somebody to back it up.
Oh,
right?
oh, forget about it. Yeah, they wanted to steal that script,
Right,
but he stuck to his gun.
Right.
He wanted it in his way. They wanted to take it away and just give him $30,000 or whatever it was. He sold his dog. He sold his dog.
He sold it. Yeah.
So he said no because they wanted to take it over.
You heard he bought it
I
back,
don't think they wanted to admit it.
He sold the dog and he bought it back, and he had to give the guy a part of the movie.
Yes. They didn't want him to be in it either. And they wanted to do that, and he held out for it. And and I got people telling me, "Hey, we should do it this way, do it this way."
Imagine Rocky without Sylvester Stallone. My life would be fucking different. He was perfect. Nobody else could have been in it, right?
He was great.
And even Michael, they didn't want him as Michael. Al Pacino.
No.
Is that crazy? They wanted James Caan. They wanted Caan. They wanted Caan. They wanted Sonny to play.
Definitely.
Yeah. And the train scene with Salotto is amazing, right?
Unbelievable. Gotta love it. I love that. I still have a tape. I was watching it the other night. And Marlon Brando, so he was so great in that movie because of his pauses, right? Paused a lot. If you know this part. So he really couldn't remember all of his dialogue. And so they had big cue cards all around the room. And that's why his
because he was older or because it was just...
I'm not too sure. It was a lot. A lot of speaking to do.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
Of course.
But they had all the cue cards all around the room all at once, and then he would turn certain ways and then look, and his pauses were so much longer. But as an actor, you want to take your time delivering your dialogue and certain dialogue,
Right.
And it makes the scene you could drag the audience into your long pauses with facial expressions and stuff like that. And he was great at that, but his pauses were so long because he was trying to read the words on the cue cards first. But it worked so good that he was like, maybe I don't need the cue. And the director's like, no, we want the cue cards because your pause is so much longer. So let's do it this way. And it came out awesome. So you learn these little tidbits from every actor, and then you can incorporate it into your own world too. And and like you said, you asked me how to accomplish a movie. You need funding, but you can grab some great partners. In the independent world, everybody's hungry and everybody's trying to make it. So people will work for the back end of the pie, like signing contracts and getting a percentage when it sells. That's what I did a lot. I never took like on these independent films, I never took a daily rate, which was like $125 a day, and you're on set twice a week, maybe. What are you going to make from that?
Right.
2 or 2?
I think they did that on Star Wars, and they're becoming billionaires. I think, right?
So I don't want that. Give me a contract. Give me 5%, 4%, whatever. It depends on my producer. 10% I used to get on some. It would depend on how.
Well, you negotiated yourself with the
agent. I negotiated. I negotiated a lot on my own. And I had a lawyer read it for me. A friend of mine did it for nothing for me and read it and gave me all the advice. But it worked. That worked. But accomplishing my own film, I have the crew, I got a director, I got all the cast members, we're all signing contracts. Everybody's getting a piece of the pie, they're getting points on the back end because I'm going to sell this film. I want to get it out there to the world, and you got to promote it to get it out there, but you have to make a good product. So, writing it is one thing, and it really is 2 great scripts. We're putting it from paper to the silver screen. It's totally different, but I have a great crew.
You have to get an editor?
I have everything.
Okay.
I have everybody. I have the camera people, the lighting. I got an editor. I got a director. I have a guy that's going to score the whole movie.
I was just going to say, that's got to be an important part of it, right? Rocky without the music that's the important part of the thing, right?
We need everything, and I have all. And I want this I want this to be a Bronx film.
I like that.
Like a New York feel, but it takes place in this neighborhood, Bronx, Pelham Bay section.
Has there been someone that's done that already?
Yeah.
Like that movie that was in City Island was kind of like a hit one time, right? Like I forgot who, True Love or something.
Yeah. I think Kelly Sananti was in that. She just put up pictures of it.
I think Joe G was.
Joe G was in it.
And they muted his voice out.
He answered the dance. And they were cousins in real life or something.
My man Joe G.
Yeah, Joe G.
I gotta give him a shout out.
Yeah, definitely. But creating your own film is a big job, and I know I'm gonna accomplish it. I have thousands of friends that give me so much through the years. And this is what you asked me before, and this was my answer. What was my most happiest moment? Like one of my best enjoyments making films, or okay, so. we would have premieres, me and this company I worked for, yearly. And they went from 100 people to 150 to 2 showings, and having your family and friends there mean any more than money. That excitement that your friends come up and hug you and say, you were great, the movie was great, I'm proud of you. A year and a half ago, I had a screening at the Villa Maria Academy. My pops died of diabetes. I went to the diabetic shop filming this movie. 3 days out of the hospital, I had to act in a scene, and I was producing it at the same time, and I was really sick. And they actually helped me to set. I wouldn't cancel. The owner and director was like, let's cancel. We'll reshoot in the spring. I was like, no, we got to get this done. We want to have a premiere, blah, blah, blah. So I went to set sickly. They literally carried me. I couldn't walk. That's how weak I was from the diabetes. I just got out of the hospital. I went into shock. My sugar was like 800 and my A1C was 15 and a half. It's supposed to be 5. But all in, I'm going to complete. I was destined to complete that movie. 3 days earlier, before I went into shock, 3 days earlier, I'm on set and I'm doing a scene at night, and there's a pit in front of me, and my eyes black out. I black out, and I fall into the pit, bang my knee, and then I finally get my eyesight back. And we're all the way upstate in Wappingers Fall. And then the next day, they took me home. I couldn't see the whole night. I was seeing blurry. I couldn't make out faces, nothing. And I went home the next day, and I laid on the couch. I was like, I gotta lay down. And Janine was like, you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm all right. I don't know, my eyesight's blurry. My fingers are tingling. So I'm falling asleep, and she's trying to talk to me. She's Googling. She's like, you're going into diabetic shop. She started Googling all my symptoms, and she rushed me to the hospital. And yeah, they shot me with insulin. I was in shock. So I went into the hospital. 3 days I got out, and 2 days later I was doing a scene, and the guy was canceled. Let's cancel the shoot. I was like, nah, I'm all in. That's my attitude. All in.
Right. I love it.
And I went and I did the scene, and it was kind of a sentimental scene to begin with. So me being so weak, it came out so great on the screen. But the energy it took for me, that every time they called cut, I literally fall to my knees and take a deep breath because I was in so much pain in my stomach and stuff. I don't know. And I killed the scene. It was great. They took me home, and they didn't keep me there long, an hour. We did minimal, whatever. It was 4 pages of dialogue, but I had to remember. I rambled it all off. I was making some sort of speech at a gravesite. And that was one of the best moments, like sick, but I got through it.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
and then 2 weeks later, my dad passes while I'm filming. I'm filming in New Rochelle, and I get a phone call, and he died while I was filming. So I broke down hysterical crying, and then I got my composure. I said, give me 20 minutes. This is how I thought. My dad just died. I said, give me 20 minutes, and then we'll get back to work. And they were like, no, you got to go home and talk to your kids. And I was like, no, my dad wants me to finish this. No, we'll finish this. You're not in the scene. We'll finish it. And I was fighting them tooth and nail, but I realized I had to go home and talk to my kids. And I did. And I buried my pops, and then the guy again was like, all right, listen, I was distraught. I had a bad, when we buried him, I was in bad shape. And he was like, let's cancel. It was December. We'll finish in March or April. I was like, nah, we got to do this, man. And for that weekend, I think we buried him on a Thursday. That weekend, I went to Yonkers and slept there for like 3 days. And we filmed in this house for 3 days. We did like 8 scenes because we wanted to get this film done. And I directed. And I'm an acting coach on set. I've been doing that for 9 years. And like I go in all in on set. I know everything that has to be done for a film to get made, and I've been doing that for like 8 years now. We know every day in that. And in the independent world, you don't have everybody doing the job, so you take on 10 hats. You know, I got that done. And we had a big premiere. 450 people, raised money for diabetes, and there was like 300 of my family and friends there. It was so overwhelming. And that, before Pacino, acting with Pacino on set, that was the biggest moment, the happiest moment. because that meant more than meant money to me.
And all the whole hard work and everything.
That hard work
paid off.
And people and just the support from my family and friends mean more than me to this day. Mean more than me than anything that can come from me, and I can become the biggest. I just want to be successful. I don't care how big. I want to, But
and you will be.
Money and support for family and friends. I'll take the support from family and friends any day of the week. That's me. People tell me I'm crazy, but you don't understand the rush that is, and it just means more. And people know that. I tell them. My family and friends are the best. I love them, and I met so many people that drove in from Jersey that I didn't know that came to that premiere, and we're friends now. And there's followers. I have a lot of fans out there. Like people type me, I'm a big fan. I'm like, you're a fan. Like I can't get used to that. I'm not a big actor. I'm not a big actor. I'm not. I'm trying my hardest. I've been on Blue Bloods this past December and another big show, and I've been in a lot of independent movies. There's a couple coming out. The Irishman I'm in, small scene. But I'm in 5 scenes. That's cool. But I think my defining moment is when I could finish my own movie and get it out there to the world. Get in the world. And that'll be my moment. That's when I'm going to make my bones. Make my bones. I'm both free. I make my bones. Sal Amore will make his bones on his own. That's that. Yeah, but I learned all this to go on my own to do this. Like you, right? You work for a lot of companies and stuff when you're doing it, right? Right? I think that's the way you gotta go. But then you find partners that you do it together with that are on that same page. Right? You find those, I don't make this movie on my own. I got partners. I got guys that are going to do the camera work. I got a girl, she's going to direct and promote. And between all of us, we're so hungry. You have to find those people that are on the same page as you.
You're just passionate about what you're doing.
And that's when you collaborate. And when you collaborate,
you got to have those people around you. And you can't do it by yourself. You can never make it by yourself.
I got a great crew. Awesome. I got a great cast.
That's awesome.
I'm putting it together, and it's going to be a New York film. A lot of people involved are going to be from the Bronx, because it's going to have that feel. I need it to be authentic. Helen Bay Bronx, that movie.
I'm excited.
Listen, I have no neighborhood. I got to go look at the location after this.
Just talking to you tonight, I have no doubt it's going to be. I mean, I see your passion for it. I wish you continued success. I appreciate you coming. At the end of my show, I do a little thing. A lot of people know I like basketball and rap music, so I'm just going to ask you a couple of things. I'm going to ask you your favorite NBA player, your favorite rapper, and maybe your favorite rap song or album.
Okay.
All right? We'll start out with the NBA player.
NBA. Yeah. Come on, look at me. I'm a white boy, Larry Bird. Even though he's from Boston, I was a big Boston fan.
That's my guy. I got the signed jersey right in there.
That's my boy. Yeah, of course. I was a Knicks fan when I was growing up with my father because he had season tickets, but when I knew my own stuff.
I think you're the first Larry Bird. I got a lot of Jordans.
Larry Bird. Yeah, no way. Larry Bird is my band. Love him.
Beautiful.
Rap song or rap group.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, from back in the day.
Whatever.
I'm gonna go back to my teens.
I don't like rap now. I like rap from back in the day too. I like the old stuff.
I'm gonna go back to my teens and say like we always listened. Me and my boy Frankie Zerko. Shout out to Frankie Zerko.
What's up, Frankie?
Run DMC.
Of course. Yeah, that's great. Of course. They were the best.
And Jam Master Jay for the song I got.
Yeah, that's cool. Perfect.
They have a good story too.
Of course. And Run DMC is the one who kind of like put hip hop on around here. And
there you go.
They broke hip hop, right?
They have some story, man. Those people didn't give up either. It's all about not giving up. It's about going
all in. So when you find out what the thing is you love, this is what I talk about all the time. You got to go all in. You can take your time to find it. It's never too late. Like you found it later. People think, but that's the mistake. People think, So what's wrong with that? Like people start businesses at 50, become millionaires, dude. It's not too late.
Yeah, this was acting. So like show business, people look at it like that's a what's that called? A pipe dream.
Right.
People said I had pipe dreams going on, but my pipe dreams came to reality, and I'm gonna make it as good as I can, and I'm gonna give. Since I was all in with all that hardship, and I don't have any of that anymore.
Now it's gonna be easy. You went through the hard part already, right?
Yeah, because you know what? You go into set thinking, "Where's my next paycheck coming in? How am I paying and you're acting on set, right? But now I don't have to worry about when's my next paycheck. How am I going to pay my bills? Everything, and now that's.
But you got to stay hungry. But that was talking about Rocky
But this
Rocky
is the
3
first-
when he makes
I
the money,
swear.
he's not hungry.
Yeah.
You gotta go back. So
I know.
you
No, I
make
always
sure you
look
stay
up-
hungry.
Oh no, forget about it. I suffered so much now. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go backwards. But like, and then this is. I'm gonna tell you, the being comfortable doing this financially only happened like what 3 years ago, the earliest.
Right.
Being comfortable.
Right.
That, and I'm
not even comfortable now, dude.
No, I'm not. I want to be more comfortable. You know,
Right.
I have enough. I cover my bills. We live a nice
That's
life.
it. Yeah.
And
I know what you mean.
I'm
You don't
not
worry.
worrying.
Yes.
because
That's what comfortable.
I have my checks
Yes,
coming in.
yes,
You know,
of course. I know
my
what you mean.
residuals.
Yes.
And everything I do now is, there's a payday on it.
Dude.
Like, it's.
I
See,
get it.
listen, back in the day was, I won't take the pay. I'll just have I'll have points at the end. But now it's, I want that pay and I want those points and I deserve it. And if you don't give it to me, so you get to learn how to play hardball.
Yes. You get leverage.
You're not fragile.
Right.
Just
You know your worth. Yeah, you know what I mean? You put in the time. That's it.
It's a mind game too.
That's it.
It's a mind game out there, and you just got to keep strong, look forward, never look back, all in. You gotta go all in to succeed. You really gotta go all in.
I love it, and that's the message, folks. We gotta go all in, find your passion, and go all in. And you gotta take risks. Nothing's easy. Anything worth it's not easy, right, brother?
Yeah. I had some journey.
Thank you, man, and it was a great journey to listen to. Much continued success. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Thank you, Vinny. You're a gentleman. Good luck to yourself.
Yes, thank you.